I wasn't going to talk about this, but I have to talk about this. This 50-50 conversation that everyone keeps having on the internet is one of the unhealthiest conversations that I actually hear. But I realize that people are constantly entering these dating situations and relationships with this unrealistic expectation and these unrealistic ideas of how things go. A relationship is ever going to be 50-50. If you're looking for someone to solely take care of you financially, you have to understand there's a lot of things that they're going to have to sacrifice, and a lot of things you're going to have to sacrifice as well. So this person enters the relationship with you, or the dating dynamics with you, this dating situation or whatnot, and you already hit them with everything financially on my end needs to be taken care of 100% by you. Okay, that means that what you're sacrificing probably is the attention that you will want, the time that you will want from that person, your emotional needs, all of your emotional needs actually being met, because this person has to make a sacrifice to make sure that you're good financially. Now, if a person is making sure you're good financially and they're working their butts off to make sure of that, there's going to be a lot of needs that they're going to have emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So if you want to talk about 100% of being taken care of financially, can you take care of them 100% when it comes to mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually? Chances are you probably cannot. What value do you add to this person that you're demanding so much of? That's the question you really need to have with yourself. And it's not about you opening up your legs or what your mouth can do or what the mouth down there can do. It's about what you actually can do to add to their value and their fruition. So my thing is, for the people who are listening to this conversation, that I need to be taken care of 100%. They need to take care of my bills 100%. You're already entering a relationship off of unsolid foundation. It's no such thing as fairness when you think like that. This person's already burdened by the expectations that you have created. And you're going to feel like if this person doesn't meet your expectations, because life happens and circumstances changes and they may lose their job. But if they can no longer meet your expectations, they're probably not going to feel like they're worthy or they're good enough. You're probably going to minimize them or put them down. And then your frustrations are going to leak into other areas of your relationship. And this comes with other stress factors and things like that. Do you consider that? Before you all say the things that you all say on this internet, do you all consider what you're saying? Stop listening to these societal views, because those are not healthy for you. And the same people who are talking about you got to do this, you got to pay for this stuff, are the same people who add nothing to another person's value. But conflict and headache and stress and, oh my God, seriously?
Yes, it absolutely is conflict, headache, and stress, because we got to constantly come out here in this. My car says -1 degrees right now. But yesterday it went from 30 degrees and dropped all the way to -8 degrees with a wind chill that felt like -34 degrees. And guess where I work? Outside. And there's a lot of people that work outside. And it's amazing to me because my supervisors and management team, they had us food and all kind of stuff prepared. And they said, even though we had the Christmas party the day before, this is a kind gesture from us to say thank you for coming to work, because they had a lot of call-offs. And it's good to be appreciated because, hey, you're going to be there 80% of the time. Someone might as well appreciate you because something ain't going on at home. So she said, dating, that's asinine, because you definitely shouldn't be expecting all these things for somebody that you're just dating or that you're walking in the door. And I'm going to tell you something. I've met women and I've heard women that have the nerve enough to tell a man, and she got 3 and 4 and 5 children and multiple baby daddies and all kind of stuff and ex-husbands, all kind of stuff. And he's walking into this ready-made family, and she's got all these expectations that he's supposed to walk in and take care of while she sit up like a fat cat. And it's unbelievable because your family is already made. Therefore, you're running it before that man even touches your life. If those children have a stepfather or a step baby daddy, whatever you want to call it, coming in the door, that man is walking into a ready situation that you control, because you're using the state, the massa, family courts, you're using that as a mechanism to usurp God and everything anyway, so you can control the man, because you know God put him in that position where he leads. So if any man paying attention outside of laying down with you and getting between your legs or whatever you got to offer in the bedroom, outside of that, and y'all bragging that your face card don't decline and all that because y'all just think y'all cuteness is forever and you can bat your eyes forever and everything else, once you get past all of that, does that man really want to deal with you and what you bring? And you think about the people or the man who actually started something inside of you. That's why God set it up for you to be with one. But you give your wombs and your coochie to everybody that you can think of, and not everybody you can think of can handle your heart and deal with you. And you throw tantrums because of regular life stuff that goes on, the 9 out of 10 that you caused, that you had a big party in, but that man's limit is, I'm here. Thick and thin. Your limit is, the first thing, sometimes something happens, I'm gone. Because this world has taught you that you can have anything you want, that this world is your oyster, no matter how many babies you have, no matter how many partners you have, no matter how much you tattoo your bodies up and tell a whole story about who that had, you done slipped through so many dudes' hands and had so many alterations that by the time you get to a just man, he really can't do nothing with you because you got too much of a mouth of attitude from the other Negroes you've been with. And then you got a nerve. Somebody got to come out here. I showed you a picture of what it looks like out here, just as Northwest Indiana. This is Chicagoland area. And we coming out here strong as men and getting in this. And shout out to the ladies that's coming out here, because they man, I got a nice group of ladies that I'm close to that, man, they get out here. And they talk like this young lady right here because they get it. They understand. They have empathy and sympathy. But when you sitting up in somebody's church every day and you on podiums and you on program, and you ain't got no empathy, some of y'all done caused these brothers to have to be homeless in their cars, everything else, because you had a whole multiple conversations behind their back to tear them down and destroy them. But you ain't there to support them, and they making sure something gets to you for their children every week, every month, every 2 weeks. It doesn't matter how it's getting there. It doesn't matter why. Because if you got them, if you running them through the system, if you done put their information through the system, if you done divorced them and caused all this tearing and ripping apart of the family, you are in the line of judgment with the Most High Yahweh. But y'all want to avoid all that. Y'all want to make all these excuses and different things when you're going through what you call the worst moments in your lives that you caused, when it should have been a family of 2 individuals who challenge each other, 2 individuals that bring each other to a mature place. But when you make sure that you take advantage of systems that kick a man out and destroy him, you ain't got nobody in the home to challenge you or bring you up to a level, or, you know what I'm saying? And therefore your growth is stunted because you move like a sneaky child for the rest of your life. Someone, how you got these young ladies who young, man, sneaking out of windows, lying to their parents, doing all kind of stuff to be fast and slick and everything else. And they carry that into adulthood, and they'll deal with the father of their children like that. They'll just make decisions that he can't challenge, that he can't say anything about, and just lay it on him like some sneaky child. Well, I did this. What do you think about it? Oh, how do you feel? It's foolishness. It's foolishness. And I'm telling you, the things that are supposed to work for your good, where you're in a relationship, so the person is an extra set of eyes, kind of like how you're sitting in a car and I'm driving, and there's a lot of things that you do as a driver, so you can't pay attention to everything. But when you have a navigator sitting next to you, a wife, a partner, to some, because a lot of people like to say partner, even though in marriage it's not that when you look at the scriptures. But if you're going to go that partner route, if you're going to go that navigator, that wife route, this is the mother of your children who gave her body to carry your babies. She can look at you while you're driving, and she can see you and learn and help you and assist you. That's what a navigator is. But she's supposed to give you her critique and her opinion and her advice in love. In the reverse, if she is toxic, she's going to give you all that in negativity, and she's going to be the first one waiting to tell you every time you sure have a lot of down moments, and this, that, you could never keep this, and blah, 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 but takes herself out of the equation of any of the things that might have been contributed by her. She's going to take herself out of it because she needs to play that victim role. She needs to, blame anybody but herself, and now you're carrying all of that as well. So when it comes down to it, the biggest thing is making sure you have somebody that cares about you. And I'm talking about really cares, because at the bad times, they are going to pray for you and comfort you and support you, because they know this is the person that's going out and blessing and helping our family every day. The last thing we need is for that person to go out and have a lot of burden on their mind, or go out and go against the world and then come home and fight with the person and have an enemy in the house, in the bed, that's supposed to be there by their side, and work with them in harmony. That's the last thing mugs want to have to come home and face. And the the ultimate foundation and moral of the whole story, piggybacking off what this young lady just said, is that you just don't care. And brothers, if she wanted them to just don't care how much you putting out here, even that you might be willing to not have a place of your own and all that other stuff, everybody want to make jokes about it, but at the end of the day, it takes a real one to be willing to lose everything to take care of his.